sounds the same, but the words are different. So just repeat after me. I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the web of life.
to the web of life,
Of which we're each a strand.
of which we are each a strand,
And to the planet Earth.
and to the planet Earth,
On which we stand.
on which we stand,
One ecosystem.
one ecosystem,
Under the sun.
under the sun,
Interdependent.
interdependent,
With diversity.
with diversity
And respect for all.
and respect for all.
So for the little ones, you might not have understood all those words, like the real Pledge of Allegiance, but that's okay. All right, we'll learn them as we go. We're going to see lots of animals. We're going to learn about their jobs. We're going to meet animals that would live in lots of different places, but an important thing for me to tell you is that the Granite State Zoo has a very important rule. I don't know how you feel about wild animals, different from pet animals, different from farm animals, but we think that animals born wild and free should live wild and free. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So all of the animals you're about to meet came to us from lots of places, except we never asked anybody to go catch them in nature. Let's start meeting them. Let's see. Where should we start? Where should we start? Something scary, something cute. Cute? Something cute. I know you guys are very enthusiastic in the front, but let's start off with something cute, just so we don't empty the room. We'll wait to try to empty the room a little bit later. All right, so here we go with our first animal. It's kind of a baby animal. She's going to be very high energy, like lots of little kids tend to be. And I'm going to make the mistake, the silly me, of giving her more energy. Can anybody identify this species? In common English, we'll keep it at that for now. Very good. All right, that is one of her favorite snacks. This animal here is a type of animal that would normally live in Diego's backyard. You guys watch Diego? So do I. Okay. And actually, I saw one little deal down there. My last trip down to the La Selva Biological Station in Costa Rica, where I and a bunch of zookeepers and professional educators went to teach. It's actually where I met a friend who just helped me become one of the board of directors of the National Association of Professional Wildlife Educators. You can hear her speaking, can't you?
Order of knowledge.
Oh my goodness, what is it? What is it? Here she comes. Whoa, my goodness. Oh. And you little slippery little thing.
Wallaby, I think.
Hold on. Hold on. You're supposed to be wearing this. You are supposed to be wearing this. Hold on just a minute. This is baby Maya. Say hi to Maya. Maya, come here. Let me have that long wiggly nose. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Nibble, nibble, nibble. It's time when you're a baby. Hold on just a second. I don't want you to yell out. I want you to just watch, okay? Thank you. Oh, kids. I know some of you can relate. All right, hold on. We're going to get it. This animal here, does anybody know what it is from watching the video? Oh, a raccoon is very, very close. No, you're getting really cold now. Okay, stop. There we go. Oh. That's all this word safe. Now, all right. Now we can do our thing. No more slipping out of that, young lady. There you go. There's a little grape for you. Let go. And she climbs like a raccoon. This is called a Kwatimundi. Let me hear you say Kwatimundi. And baby Maya here is just a little bit less than a year old. She's a little bit more than halfway to full grown. She's born in a zoo in Texas, and she's been with our zoo since she's about 10 weeks old. Okay? The red Kwatimundi is a very close relative of the raccoon, a part of the group of animals known as percyonids. Percyonids are very closely related to bears in many ways. They can eat plants, like you just saw, or they can eat other animals. One of her favorite snacks, do you guys know what it is?
Great.
Probably one of your favorite snacks, too. No, Mother Nature's candy. What's Mother Nature's candy?
Raisin.
Beetles. Oh, yeah. In fact, it's everywhere. If you pages in it. Because so far people have discovered about 2 million animals. Half of them, hey guys, what's half of 2 million? Oh, you do belong here. Very good. 1 million animals, just the different types of beetles. 98 to 99.5% of all animals on our planet that we know about don't even have a backbone. Don't even have bones at all. They're what we call invertebrates. Who's heard of those types of animals before?
Bugs.
Those are the types of animals like bugs and insects, tarantulas and scorpions and so on, flies and worms. What's that? Don't be jumping ahead of us in the class, okay? Snakes are vertebrates, okay? In fact, most snakes have about 2 or 3 times more bones than you have. Okay, so this animal here is a vertebrate, but it loves to eat invertebrates and lots of fruits. What do we call an animal that can eat both? An omnivore. Just like you and I, she can eat both meat and plants, getting lots of choices as to where to get her vitamins and minerals, protein, carbohydrates, and fat, and energy from the sun to give her the energy you can see that she has. Hey, you give it up. Whoa. Come back here, quick. Hey, come on. Hey, come on. All right, a question about her. Yes, go ahead.
Does she have rabies?
Does she have rabies? I certainly hope not. Okay? Now, he has a valid point. Let me take the opportunity. This is a great learning opportunity. So all eyes up front, listening ears on. Rabies is a bad thing to have.
You get crazy in the head, and if you don't, and you have to have shots in your tummy.
Well, I've met people who are crazy in the head without having rabies. But yes, that's one of the last things that does happen. And you got to get your shots if you get rabies before you get crazy in the head. If you start to get crazy in the head, it's too late for shots. Rabies is a virus that can only be carried by mammals. Those are the fuzzy ones, for those of you who don't know. They have fur or hair on their body, at least at some point in their life, and they have bones. So tarantulas, even though they're hairy, are not mammals. Any type of mammal potentially can carry rabies, but many do not, because rabies only incubates or grows inside you if you have a certain body temperature or higher. Okay? Many of the animals that we have around here, like skunks, squirrels, raccoons, and so on, do potentially carry it. All right? So you always have to understand that when it comes to wild animals, there should be a big border in your mind. If you see an animal in the wild, especially if it's fuzzy, love it with your eyes, but don't touch it with your hands. That's a very important rule. Some people really don't have enough common sense, which is not all that common, to follow simple rules like that, so we actually have to make laws, and one of the laws is, unless you're a wildlife rehabber, a trapper, licensed by the state, or somebody like that, native fur-bearing animals, you do not bring them into your home or catch them or mess with them at all. That's for your protection and theirs. Most mammals that we see walking around do not have rabies. A lot of times you could see an animal and it looks just fine, but it still might. You'd never know, because it doesn't look crazy until the rabies gets to their brain, not in their body, but all the way to their brain, and starts to make them act funny. Okay, rabies gets from one animal to another, either by licking each other, like she's licking me. Hey, just licking, please. Thank you. Okay, if a mommy raccoon licked her babies around the eyes or the mouth to clean it off, then the rabies could get from the mommy to the babies without the babies looking sick or even the mommy looking sick. All right, but all furry animals do not have rabies automatically, and certainly we would not be able to bring her here if she did. So that is a very good question, and we had a great learning opportunity there. Anybody else?